So guess where we are today? The very famous Misk Al Moj, known for its theatrical lifestyle hotel, where it provides great services to everybody out here. We have with us the most talented and beautiful general manager of Misk Hotel, Miss Meenu. Hi Meenu, how are you feeling being on our show today?
I'm good. How about you? How are you feeling being at Miss today?
I am feeling great. First thing is the ambience here, and the second thing is the outside atmosphere. Both makes me feel so calm and so good. I can't tell you.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very beautiful place. It's got very beautiful vibes.
I swear you can feel the vibes
I know,
actually when
right?
you're sitting here. So Meenu, as we know, you're into the hospitality industry since you started. We want to know more about your journey in the industry and what Bisque means to you, not as a tourist perspective, but as a person working inside Bisque.
Okay. So my journey in hospitality had been a very interesting one. I was studying to be a doctor. And
Oh.
then when I was in my 12th grade, I just realized that it's not really a field for me.
Okay.
For me, it's a place where I would be, meeting people. I would be interacting with a lot of different kind of cultures and backgrounds. So then hotel management happened.
Oh wow.
Started my career with the Oberoi Group of Hotels, and
That's
I've been
nice.
in Oman for the last 11 years now.
Mashallah,
With
that's a huge time.
I know it's a beautiful country. With Misk, I've been here for the last 6 years. And when I joined here, I joined as a director of sales.
Okay.
Took over commercial, and then of course I was the EM for food and beverage, and now I'm looking after the hotel in the capacity of a general manager.
That's so great.
Yeah, I mean it's a lovely brand to work. The location is beautiful. The hotel has a very nice market reputation, and it's a very popular lifestyle destination, which is what Misk Al Mode stands for.
This is what we know about Misk. Now you have to tell me what Misk is for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Misk for me is home. When I say Misk, for me this is my second home. This is where I spend most of my time. This is one brand which resonates with my personal ethos, which resonates with my personal philosophies of what I truly believe in. Usually, as a trend, people tend to leave hotels after 3 years, 4 years, but being with this hotel it's more of an emotional connect with the people who work over here, with the brand itself. So for me, this is definitely a second home for me.
That's so great because usually we see that people shift. Like if they're working,
Yeah.
then they try to shift after every 2 years or 4 years. They shift, and you being constantly here makes me feel that you're really happy here.
For anybody, I mean, you could be working in any industry. When you are well taken care of, when you feel that you're growing, when your growth and development happens, and when you as an employee are looked after well by the company, that's when you also start giving your loyalty to them. I mean, for you, I mean, for anybody, it could be any industry. It's always a two-way thing. So
Two-way
when
thing,
you are
yeah.
giving 100%, the company also recognizes you. They also appreciate you. They also, they provide you growth opportunities. Then you would want to develop your career with them. So
Definitely.
this brand, I mean, I'm fortunate to be working with this brand because they have given me a lot of opportunities to develop.
To grow. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting point because I do feel that very well because I was working into a company and I saw all my credits being taken away by
Yeah.
the manager.
Yeah.
And I was not getting lift what I wanted. And it was so upsetting that you wanted to leave. Like I was just counting days when I can leave the company. Now when you told me it's a give and take, then
Yeah.
definitely it should help me grow. At the same time, I should see that my services or my capability is helping the industry grow.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you rightly said, it's always a give and take.
Give and take.
Always a give and take. So for me, it's like I'm happy here, very happy here.
Yeah, that's nice. That's good. Apart from this, Meenu, we want to know when people start booking their hotels. What do they? What is their requirements? Basic requirements, and what is their unique requirements?
See, when people book any hotel, the first and the foremost thing they look for is the price. This is the first thing they look at. In this country, I mean, having lived here for almost 10, 11 years, in this country, what people really look for as a travel pattern we have seen is that they would go in a price way. They would see the facilities as a secondary thing, but for them, the most important thing is the price thing. And
Price,
Oman,
yeah.
is an expensive destination. As compared to any other countries that you would find in the Middle East, Oman is one of the most niche destinations. So hotels are expensive. I mean, we are not a very cheap hotel, as I would say. We do have a certain price that we ask for, and we deliver those services. So when a guest is looking for a hotel, they look for their area. If they're coming for a work, they would see geographically how far are they from the area of work. They would also look at what exactly do they have around them. So if a guest is coming from Saudi, he would be looking at a place where he could even relax after he's coming back from his work. So that's what people look for. And the market reputation. These days, online reviews, online reputation is so strong. You go and stay at a hotel, you don't like the hotel, and then there you go, all on the social media, everything is there. So you cannot fake things now.
True.
So you log into a hotel, you log into a restaurant, you log into any product, and you could just literally know everything about the thing because a guest would speak.
True.
So for us, we are very particular about maintaining a good guest reputation. We make sure that people don't go unhappy from here, because if I let you go unhappy from here, then you are acting as a bad brand ambassador for my hotel, which would lead to 20 guests not choosing my hotel. Yes. So for any hotel, I mean, not just for us, I think every hotel, every service is all about the guest satisfaction.
Very interesting point, because as we book hotels, whenever we're traveling anywhere, we'll just go and start reading the reviews. That has become like a patent thing, that when we're booking hotel, even if it's a 5-star hotel, still we'll go and start scrolling down and seeing the reviews, what people have given their feedbacks, and then we will book that particular hotel.
Yeah, but interestingly, what also happens is sometimes hotels and specific the service industry, because it's a very intangible industry, it's all about people. So sometimes you also have some of those guests who would want to just put a very, very wrong review to get something in return. Now, we call this as a very unethical practice. I mean, you could be staying at a hotel, have a very, very delightful stay, and at the end of the day, just because you want certain discounts or you want your room night to be waived off, you would threaten that, I would write a wrong review about the hotel. Otherwise, you give me this in return. So, I mean, you have, people who are coming with these kind of poor ethics also, which unfortunately hotels have to deal with.
So here we can say there is a plus point of social media, and
a very big negative point as well. Yes. Which is beyond your control. I mean, you cannot ask a guest that you please post this or you please write this. It's your perspective.
True. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. Meenu, as we know, Misk Al Mauj being an upscale hotel, maintaining its standard day by day and upgrading itself. How do you take this ahead?
So, for hotel industry, it's very important to constantly upgrade these services. There's a lot of competition that is growing. There are lots and lots of new hotels which are opening around us or in the city. And if we don't upgrade our services, if we don't really, constantly push and raise the bar, then we would be lagging behind the competition. So as a brand, what we really focus and emphasize on is we try and embrace the local culture. When I say embracing the local culture, when you walk into the lobby, you would see a lot of local touches, like the Omani colleagues wearing the traditional bazaar. You would see a very beautiful portrait of the late Sultan Qaboos. You have a very beautiful portrait of Sultan Haitham. We have a very nice evening ritual whereby a lady comes in with bukur and the music changes to an oriental music. We have Omani high tea. When you walk into the corridors in the guest rooms, you would see the landscape of Oman, which is being beautifully captured. You come here for a breakfast, you would find a very nice station of Omani breakfast section. You would find stories which are being told to the guests when they come into the hotel, that what exactly is Oman all about. So, it's a constant training that we impart to a team. It's a constant upgradation of services by seeing the new trending things. Because if you don't really upgrade yourself with the new trends, then you are lagging behind in the competition. So for us, the right training, hiring the right people, and constantly ensuring that the standards are being met. So this is what really keeps us apart.
That is so great, as we know globally also that Oman is stuck to their grounds, and Oman is somewhere. Oman is a country that is still grounded with culture. Like it does not want to fit into whatever is going on around the
Yeah,
world.
yeah, yeah.
It's still that calm environment. They're not rushing into the new trends, and they want to stay with their culture at the same time grow beautifully.
See, Oman, I mean, when we travel for a lot of these trade exhibitions, we present our hotel in UK at the WTM, we would present our hotel at the ITB in Germany, and we do a lot of road shows. Sometimes you travel to different destinations on a holiday. Very rarely would you speak about a hotel that, you know what, I remember that hotel because this is what was so unique about that. It's a uniqueness that we really touch upon. It's trying to be different and trying to be very authentic in our services.
That's so great, because somewhere I feel it's connected to the country in a very beautiful way. So,
Yes.
like Misk itself is connected to the country.
Yes.
Apart from this, Minu, as we know, it's located in Al Moj, and Al Moj being a prime location in the country, like every tourist or every person who comes to Oman does visit
They
Al
have to
Moj,
come here.
and Misk is just in Al Moj. So, is this a plus point, and how does this impact? How does the location impact on the hotel?
So location is a very important thing for anybody when they choose where to stay. People who are coming for 2 nights, for 5 nights, for a month. For them, it's about what is nearby. Oman, as a country, we are blessed with a place where there's no traffic. Everything is reachable within few minutes here and there. But then still, you're coming from a very busy city. You would want to have the basics nearby you. In at Misk, because we are located in Al Moj, this whole hotel or the whole area itself is called as a lifestyle destination. So you have literally everything here. You come back from work, you could step out at 2 o'clock at night for a very nice night stroll. It's very safe. You've got bicycles outside of the hotel. You could pick up a bicycle and go around the hotel. We've got the beach access very close to us. You've got the marina close to you. You have a headache. You would like to go to pharmacy. It's at a walking distance to just get a Panadol. You run out of cash. You've got an ATM over here. So when you have things which are just a walking distance, that makes a hotel more preferred as compared to just staying at a hotel where there's literally nothing around you. Plus, also surrounded by a lot of cafes. Sometimes you get bored of eating hotel food. You would just want to step out and have a nice coffee at a brand which is more familiar to you. So here, Al Moj is more like a picnic destination. You come here as a family. You come here as a single traveler. You come here as a single woman traveler. It's nice and safe.
I agree. I totally agree. I remember the early days when I was in Oman. We came here with my family. We came to Al Moj to look at what Al Moj looks like, and I remember one of my family members telling me, what is this? Misk. We saw Misk for the first time, and we thought it's some tourist spot. We have to go inside and see how it looks like.
Yeah, there's a very interesting thing about this hotel. So if you would have come here back in 2006. There was water here. So this whole construction it all happened after that. So you also have a small shoreline, which is a mention when you walk towards a walk area, that till there the water line was present over there. So it's a lot of development that's happening over here, and it showcases the country in a very nice way, that it's a place which is getting developed, which is more modern, yet it's retaining its cultural heritage as well. Yeah.
That's great. That's amazing. That's why I think we all are connected to Al Moj, and Al Moj with Misk
It's connected to us. True.
We know the hotel industry is well known for the guests coming from different cultures. How do you approach people from diverse cultures, diverse languages, and what kind of vibes do you give them when they are here?
So hotel industry is all about, having people coming from different backgrounds, different countries, different languages, different cultures. And when people join the hotel industry, the first thing that they're being trained is how to really understand your guests better. Sometimes you do get stuck with, some guests where language gets a barrier. Sometimes you get stuck with guests where they just don't understand anything, what you're speaking about.
Yeah, exactly. Because
we've had a lot of instances. We had one time, I remember there was a guest. They're from Japan, and they just wouldn't speak English at all. They wouldn't speak any other language. So what would my front office team do then? So there comes a sign language.
Okay.
You have to find Plus, of course, you have Mr. Google these days. You log on to Mr. Google, and Mr. Google will give you
Will
all
help
the
you
answers.
with
So
everything.
technology has helped, but if you would go by the very traditional ways of hospitality, the staff, the team, or I would say every hotelier is very well versed in how to handle people from different languages.
Languages.
Culturally, also, I mean, I would have people coming from very conservative background. We would have people coming from extremely open background as well. And we have different personas coming in. Sometimes you have very conservative families coming in with children, and then you have a honeymoon couple coming from the west.
Yeah.
So you have to really put things in place in a right way, that we are not disrespecting
Anybody.
or anybody does not feel disrespected when they're staying at the hotel. The guest is extremely given a topmost priority, and the staff is handling the guest with a lot of sensitivity. It's about how sensitive you give a certain importance to a certain situation. Otherwise, a guest might get offended with coming in here, and they just might feel that we are indifferent to them. So you have to be very cautious of these things.
I can understand how much patience that needs.
You need a lot of patience for that.
True. As you said, language differences. I remember when I was new in Oman, I had a manager from Lebanon, and I went to him and I'm like, listen, sir, can I start this project? And he did this. So I was like, okay, that means okay in India,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
I said, okay. I thought he said yes. I went back and I started working on the project. After 2 hours, he came to me and he's like, are you done? He just saw and he's like, who told you to do this? I'm like, so you told me. And he's like, I told you no. I said, no, you told me yes. He said, no, I told you no. I said, you did this? And he's like, this means no in Lebanon. And I'm like, wow, even the signs are different actually.
Yeah.
So I can imagine how difficult it is, to handle such kind of situations.
No, in hotels you have people coming from different countries all the time, and
True.
because you meet people from different walks of life, you meet people from different countries. You even meet people with different temperament.
Yeah.
Forget about people with different languages. I mean, one guest you would start your day with a very happy guest, and you feel like your day is just amazing. And then the second guest comes with the most grumpy look, and he would just be the most difficult guest ever. So how do you adapt to different personalities? How do you really deal with them, and how do you still maintain a smile on your face? Because at the end of the day, the guest is always right.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, that is a very tricky point. Like you have to be always like, yeah, the guest is right.
Yes,
No matter
yes.
what it is, the guest is right.
Yes.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, when you deal with such situation where you deal with somebody, because everybody has a mood swing, right? And there are people who are coming from traveling, and they are literally exhausted from the whole day travel. They come to the hotel, and then the waiting period, or there might be a delay, and they have to wait for some time, and they get angry, or they remove their anger out to the staff. How do you take this?
See, when you work in a customer-oriented industry, we always say that you cannot really showcase your emotions in front of the guest. A person might be having a very bad day. You could be having a personal issue or something, but you cannot showcase that in front of the guest, because you're paid to do your job, to make sure that the guest is well looked after. It's like somebody coming to your house. You might be having a fight with your sibling, but then when the doorbell rings, you still have to smile and say hello to them.
Say hello.
That's exactly what hotels do. It's your home, and the guest has come to your house, and you have to say hello to them in a nice way.
In a nice
So
way.
the team is trained well for that. You also have to learn how to empathize, because a guest might be coming after changing 4 flights, 5 flights, hasn't slept for the last 24 hours, had delays, lost his bags, or is just coming here for some very urgent meeting. The guest is stressed, so we have to empathize with the guest. We have to see that how would we make sure that his stay is comfortable, and how do we make sure that the guest is really having a very delightful moment right from the check-in to the checkout. So it's a right training, it's a right hiring, and it's a constant.
It's like a hats off to you guys, because that putting a smile all
Yeah.
the time, no matter what the situation is,
Yeah.
and not seeing what is right and wrong, just giving into it is really a great
Yeah.
job. Really
Yeah.
hats off to the whole industry, because I know how it works. Like when you're in front of the guest, even though somebody who is just removing their anger, but you have to keep calm and make them calm also at the same time.
We also feel very proud of our teams. And I would not just say for my hotel, my colleagues over here, but this is in general for the hospitality industry or any industry that deals with guests. The way people get trained over a period of time on how to mask your emotions, your emotional intelligence get very high. And it also helps you in a personal life
Personal
also,
growth,
because,
true.
we go through so much of stress these days. If you're able to really handle your emotions well, if you're able to have a very high level of emotional intelligence, then you could actually deal with a lot of problems, both professionally and personally.
True, like it's said, if you learn to control or you control that period of anger, you win in life, because that
Very
is the
true.
situation where you end up doing blunders in life
Yeah.
when you're angry. So when you deal that and you come above that, you win in life.
Yeah.
So when you see any other professions, I think hospitality is one of the examples where you are trained to do that. So
We are
that's
trained to
nice.
do that. I mean, I'll just give you a very small example. When I started my internship, as a hotel management intern, I mean, that time we are just teenagers, and you have your own tantrums, you're short tempered, and you would not take any kind of
Anything
bad
from
behavior
anybody,
from
yeah.
anybody. So at that time, you would just lose your cool, and you're like, why should I stand in front of a guest who's shouting at
Yeah,
you?
yeah,
And then
yeah,
you just walk off from there.
Yeah, true.
But now you cannot afford to do that.
Yeah, because when we're teenagers, we have this thing in mind. Oh, we don't listen to our parents.
course.
And who are they to shout
Of
at us,
course.
or who are they to tell us
Yeah,
anything?
yeah. No, but it's a good thing.
True. Yeah, I agree. So, Meenu, last year in Ramzan, I was here and I had taken this per head buffet, and I saw there was at least 35 items on the table. And because we were hungry the whole day, we could hardly eat 3 to 4 dishes. And we always have this curiosity to know, where does this leftover food go? What does the hotel industry do with this food?
Before your curiosity starts,
Yeah.
I need to know, did you eat well?
Oh, it was amazing. The food was
Okay.
amazing, whatever I had, but my tummy is so small, and I think everybody out there could not eat that much.
Yeah. No, for us, I mean, not just for our hotel, but most of the hotels, they make sure that they are preparing the food as per the total number of bookings that they have. So your wastage does not go higher. But what we have is we have a tie-up with the Oman Food Bank Society.
Okay.
So we make sure that the food which is unutilized is being given to the Food Bank Society, and it is given to the underprivileged society. Not just that, we also run a CSR throughout the holy month of Ramadan.
Oh, what is that?
We deliver food packets to people who don't have the time to reach to their families at the time of breaking the fast.
Oh.
So our teams go out to give the food packets to the taxi drivers, to people who are the cleaners, and people who are still working and haven't had the time to really go and have their iftar. So for us, it's not about the food going in the dustbin, but it's always food being utilized and people eating the food and relishing the iftar.
Oh, that is a huge act, because
Yeah.
you're doing one kind of service, and it's a charitable act also, so it's a plus point anyways.
I mean, see, generosity is one of our core values, and for us to display and to live by generosity, we make sure that, we are being very generous, not just in the holy month of Ramadan, but otherwise as well. We do have a lot of CSR campaigns that we run from time to time, whereby we connect with the society, with the underprivileged, and it's always about giving back to the society.
That's great. That's really nice, because we usually we keep thinking, what do they do with this
Yeah.
leftover or unutilized food? It's
No,
always there.
it's never thrown. It's never thrown.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
great. Apart from this, Meenu, we would like to know, Shaza, the brand itself, what is it doing in the hospitality industry? As we see, the tourism section in Oman is growing gradually. And what is your brand contribution in this?
So Shaza is a brand. It's a very niche brand, and we are having a very strong footprint in the Middle Eastern region. However, now we are expanding our footprint. We are expanding to the far horizons. We are opening a hotel in Orlando.
Oh,
That would be
that's
our
nice.
first Misk Orlando that would be opening up in US.
Oh, wow.
However, just to highlight here, unlike a lot of hotel brands, we are a completely dry brand.
Yeah,
So no
as we
matter
know
where,
it.
yes. So no matter where we would open a hotel, the hotel would always be a dry hotel. This is also embracing the culture, which is the Middle Eastern culture.
Middle East
This is also
culture.
one of the ethos or the brand values of Shaza Hotels. We have a huge market, whereby when people travel from the Middle Eastern or other parts of the world, when they're going with their families, we don't want to expose the kids to a mini bar with a mini bar stacked with alcohol. So for us, it's making sure that we are following the halal tourism, and we are ensuring that wherever Shaza and Misk hotels open, it's always a dry property.
Okay, this is very interesting because this brings to my mind that Misk is not wanting to adjust with what is going on in the society.
No.
Like it will not change its rules and regulations for the countries. It will stick to their roots, and
Yes.
it in a way it's good also because see, alcohol is not good for health, and you are not providing it on the table because somewhere it's a concern also for everybody's health. Although people have their own choices in life,
True.
but you as a brand is not promoting something that is unhealthy.
True. People do consume alcohol. I mean, it's something that it's a person's choice. But as a brand, yes, we do not sell, we do not serve, and we would always stick by this particular ethos that we have. However, having said that, at my hotel, if I were to speak about the persona of my guests, I have guests coming from Europe, from UK, from the Western countries, from all over the world. We never had, inquiries whereby the guest would not want to stay with us because we're a dry hotel. It's more about, when a guest is coming to your hotel, they're not coming to stay at your hotel because you have alcohol or no. It's about what kind of an experience they're carrying
They are
with
carrying.
you. It's about, how well they're taken care of. It's about how good of a reputation you have as a hotel. So for us, as Shaza Hotels, as Misk Hotels, we absolutely don't compromise on these things. And that is exactly what makes us very unique as a brand.
Unique, and at the same time I think it's a very strong decision, and because it's a strong decision, right? Because
It is.
if you're opening a hotel in US and you're not providing these kind of services, it's a strong decision. Like we are sticking to our culture and our
Very
grounds.
true.
You like it or not, no,
This is
it's
who
your
we are.
choice. We are this.
Absolutely.
That is
Absolutely.
a nice approach actually.
Yes.
So, Meenu, from your perspective, what should a client or a tourist look for when he is booking a hotel?
Well, when a tourist or a client or a guest, when they're looking for booking a hotel, from my perspective, it's about how comfortable their stay would be. Yes, people go for the pricing, people go for the location, people go for different things based on their needs. But at the end of the day, it is a home away from home. So when you're leaving your home and staying at the hotel, which would be your home for the next 2 days, for a month, or whatever duration, it's about how comfortable you would be there. So I would really advise, and I would strongly suggest that it's very important for a guest to look into the guest experiences, to look into the guest reviews, to see what other guests are talking about, and then make a decision. You could be choosing the cheapest hotel available, or you could be choosing the most expensive hotel available. But are you really taking back good memories from there? Are you really willing to come back to that hotel, or it's just a one-time stay? So it's all about a good stay and a happy guest who would want to come back to you.
That's true. Any last messages for our viewers out there?
Yes, the last message is that whenever you're coming to Oman, always choose Misk.
Miss, just
Only
choose
Misk.
Just
Only Misk.
book Miss. That's it. No other.
Don't even think about other places.
It was so great speaking to you and knowing more about Misk. It was wonderful, and your journey in Misk is very inspiring. Thank you so much for being on our show today.
Thank you for having me. It was lovely chatting with you as well. Thank you.
you.